Don't get me wrong, I love a good thriller novel, especially one that keeps me guessing, but it takes a lot to really impress me if I'm reading a thriller. Hi guys, it's April, and today I want to talk to you about 3 thrillers that I have recently picked up. I am middle of the road on all of these, but I still wanted to talk to you about them because some of them were on my anticipated reads list. And I don't know if you guys wanted to know my opinions or not, but you're gonna get them anyways. So the first book I want to talk about is The First Wife by Erica Spindler. I picked up this book for my local book club. We read it at the beginning of the year, so I'm still trying to bring back what I remember of this book. But this is the story of Bailey, who meets a guy, gets married, and then realizes that she doesn't know all that much about him, but she's married him. This is a take on the Rebecca storyline. It does take a couple different twists, but it is essentially the story of a woman who doesn't know a man very long, marries him, and then learns that there's a lot in this man's history about his late wife. And she's slowly learning what happened to the wife before her. I did enjoy it. It was a decent read. I do remember enjoying parts of it. I wasn't completely captivated with the whole storyline. And I haven't read the original source material, Rebecca. I have heard a lot of things about it. I think it was a decent read. Was it the most epic read I have ever read? No, but it was a decent read. The second book I want to talk about, I actually had on my anticipated releases, and that is You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes. This is the 3rd book in the You series, which is the story of Joe, who has an interesting relationship with women he likes. These stories are told from the perspective of Joe, as if he is talking about you, the reader, who is the main woman in his life that he has decided to center all of his attention on. In other words, Joe is pretty much a stalker, and he has a tendency to go to the extremes to get what he wants, so he has done some very bad things. The interesting part about this whole series, and even in this last book, is the fact that because you're being told this story by Joe, from the internals of Joe, you know he's not the best character. But every time something bad happens to Joe, and you know he deserves it, yet somehow you are hoping that this doesn't ultimately affect Joe to an extreme of some kind. This last book maybe isn't my favorite in the series because Joe has shifted a little bit because of everything that has happened in the first 2 books. And so he's coming at it from a slightly softer perspective, which is weird to say about a main character and him being softer and therefore not enjoying it quite as much. It's a different quality to the stalkerism that happens in this book. Oh my gosh. This review, okay. It was good. It is interesting to see Joe's shift in character. I didn't necessarily enjoy it as much as I did the first book. The woman Joe decides to focus on, Mary Kay. I don't know. Maybe it's her and how Joe is trying to do this whole family thing now in this one because of things. I don't know. It was okay. Wasn't ultimately that excited about. There were parts where I'm just like, can we move on? And it did also take a look at some other darker issues that kind of sort of relate to stalkerism and murder and manipulation just from more of a teenage perspective. So I did like how some of that was tied in. And I do like how Kepnes has a tendency to bring in a lot of current relevance in technology and just the take on culture and things like that. So I do like that about the series, but my favorite book in it, not necessarily. And last but not least, I read The Silenced by Heather Graham. This is a Crew Hunters novel. So it has this team of FBI agents who all have a tendency to have special abilities to either talk to the dead, see the dead, premonition about things, or dream about things. And here we have two of the Crew Hunters agents who are trying to hunt down a serial killer who likes to take down women and cut out their tongues. So they're hunting down the serial killer who may or may not have a current victim in his possession. I really do like the Crew Hunter novels. They are a great summertime thriller read for me. This kind of just brings back the nostalgia of picking these up in the summer and just enjoying them for what they were. They're quick entertainment reads. I love the dog that gets pulled into this story. I just love a dog in a book. I don't know. I'm weird like that. But it was still kind of middle of the road because I don't know. It was missing a little something. It was pretty standard in the Crew Hunter series, pretty standard for Heather Graham. I know she's got a formula. I know she can kick these out pretty quickly. Like I said, it's entertaining and I love them for travel reads, summer reads, just something, a quick bite of thriller, I guess you could say. So, I mean, by no means is this a bad book. It just isn't. So those are 3 of the most recent thriller reads that I have picked up. Tell me down below what your favorite thriller read is. I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are, or if you've read any of these books, what your opinions are on them as well. Otherwise, if you want to see more content like this, subscribe down below, hit that bell, get all of those notifications, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.